Hello, Washington Commanders fan. Today, I'm going to reveal some very interesting behind-the-scenes information from the Commanders. We're going to talk about the team's biggest need before the NFL draft, and a potential acquisition that has just emerged. And as we all know, there's still a lot of work to be done. Stick with me until the end of this video, because I'll show you what the Commanders' front office might be planning for the coming weeks. And, of course, don't forget to leave a like. Just one click, that's all I ask. To kick things off, our general manager Adam Peters has done an excellent job in free agency, addressing several key needs. He re-signed linebacker Bobby Wagner and brought in defensive lineman Javon Kinlaw to strengthen the interior D-line after Jonathan Allen's release. On top of that, Peters added Jonathan Jones and Will Harris to the defensive backfield. And to improve the offensive line, he traded for Laramie Tunsil and acquired Deebo Samuel Sr. to fill the crucial WR2 role. However, there's still one critical position that hasn't been addressed: the offensive backfield. Without a doubt, this remains the most glaring unaddressed need for the Commanders. Our current running back group consists of Brian Robinson Jr., Austin Eckler, and re-signed Jeremy McNichols. This has now become one of Washington's top priorities heading into the 2025 NFL Draft. The running back position has become one of the most debated in football in recent years. Many teams have downplayed the value of having a high-caliber weapon in the backfield, sometimes even neglecting to sign or retain them. But last year, that narrative shifted in a big way. The signing of Saquon Barkley by the Philadelphia Eagles was one of the main reasons they went from playoff hopefuls to Super Bowl champions. And it wasn't only the Eagles who benefited from elite running back play. The Baltimore Ravens acquired Derrick Henry, seen by some as past his prime, and he delivered one of the best seasons of his career, greatly enhancing quarterback Lamar Jackson's passing game. Meanwhile, the Detroit Lions bulldozed opponents all year with their dual-back combo of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, going 15-2 in the regular season. As the draft approaches, the Commanders must seriously consider the value a young, talented running back could bring to the team. Our quarterback, Jaden Daniels, is a mobile athlete, similar to Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts, who could significantly benefit from defenses having to stack the box against a dangerous run threat. While Robinson and Eckler are solid players, they simply aren't on the same level as Barkley, Henry, or even Gibbs. This year's draft class is stacked with running back talent. Ashton Jeanty from Boise State likely won't be available at pick 29, but there's a realistic chance Tre'Veyon Henderson from Ohio State could be. If not, Cam Scatabo from Arizona State is an intriguing prospect who could turn into a Christian McCaffrey-style weapon in the NFL. Other exciting names include Omarion Hampton from North Carolina and Caleb Johnson out of Iowa, both with superstar potential. Simply put, it's time for the Commanders to use their first-round pick to secure the future of the running back room. Both Robinson and Eckler have already been tested and evaluated. A trade for one of them, most likely Robinson, shouldn't be ruled out to make space for someone with greater upside. If the Commanders truly want to contend for a Super Bowl, they need a presence in the backfield that strikes fear into opposing defenses. Now, we've got another exclusive update that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. We're less than a month away from the 2025 NFL Draft, and expectations couldn't be higher. Our beloved team has only 5 picks, but that doesn't mean we can't work some draft day magic. Stick with me until the end of this video, because you won't want to miss any details of this story. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the Commanders. Let's start by talking about the incredible work our general manager, Adam Peters, has done this offseason. He really rolled up his sleeves and improved the roster in a big way. Peters was strategic and efficient when deciding which players to keep and which to let go, always aiming for the best value. It's been a hectic few weeks, but the job is far from over. There are still several roster spots to fill, especially on offense and defense. The Commanders' offense still needs more weapons, both in the run game and the passing attack. Our offensive line also needs a boost to better protect our quarterback, Jaden Daniels. And let's not forget the defense. We still need pass rushers and help in the secondary. Peters and the front office have plenty of work to do, but with smart moves, these 5 draft picks could turn into key pieces in our playoff push. Now let's talk about one of the most exciting mock draft scenarios we've seen recently. Pete Prisco of CBS Sports just released his first mock of the offseason, and guess what? He had the Commanders capitalizing on a surprising draft slide, selecting Arizona wide receiver Teta McMillan with the 29th overall pick. That's right. Prisco explained that even though the team traded for Deebo Samuel, he's only under contract for 1 more year. Washington needs a young receiver who can grow alongside Jaden Daniels, and McMillan might be that guy. He's a big-bodied receiver who's already drawn comparisons to stars like Drake London and Mike Evans. It would be an absolute steal if he's still available at pick 29. Last season, McMillan caught 84 passes on 130 targets for 1,216 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns with the Wildcats. He earned an overall grade of 84.8 from Pro Football Focus and has been named by several analysts as the best wideout in this year's class. With numbers like those, it's easy to see why he'd be a fantastic addition to our offense. Even though our current receiving core includes Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel, we still need a young talent who can be Jaden Daniels' go-to target for years to come. McLaurin remains our top guy, but he's not getting any younger. Samuel, meanwhile, only has 1 year left on his deal, and even if extended, it'll likely be for just a few more seasons. McMillan, who earned first-team All-Big 12 honors in 2024, is a flexible receiver who can line up anywhere on the field. He fits the mold of a true X-receiver, or could play as a big-bodied slot thanks to his versatile route tree. He's a big play threat waiting to happen, using his frame to win physical catches, especially in the red zone. His contested catch success rate last season was an impressive 60%. Adding McMillan to our wide receiver room would give the Commanders arguably the best trio of pass catchers in the NFL. It would be a major step up from last season, where we relied heavily on McLaurin with mostly role players around him. While it's unlikely McMillan falls to pick 29, his draft stock has taken a hit recently, which makes the scenario more realistic. McMillan didn't participate in all the drills during the pre-draft process, and his relatively short arms have raised a few concerns among scouts. Still, if he's available, when it's our turn to pick, the Commanders shouldn't think twice. They need to turn in that card immediately. McMillan could be exactly the spark our offense needs to take the next step. He has the talent and the tools to become Jaden Daniels' favorite target and help elevate this team to new heights. But here's the big question. Will he still be on the board when it's our turn to draft? That's the million-dollar mystery. According to CBS Sports, the Commanders are considered the top contenders to crush the Philadelphia Eagles' Super Bowl hopes. Cody Benjamin wrote that despite Washington's loss in the 2024 NFC Championship game, the talent of Jaden Daniels is undeniable. He highlighted that Daniels now has a sturdy left tackle in Laramie Tunsil and a Swiss Army knife in Deebo Samuel to help fill out Dan Quinn's veteran lineup. Unfortunately, the NFC Championship game was a disaster for Washington. Between Saquon Barkley's dominant performance and a series of costly fumbles, Philadelphia walked away with a lopsided 55-23 victory. In the following weeks, the Eagles went on to hoist the Lombardi Trophy, but the Commanders didn't sit idle. They've worked hard this offseason to close the gap between these two NFC East powerhouses. A big part of Washington's progress has come on the defensive side of the ball. The additions of cornerback Jonathan Jones and safety Will Harris should strengthen the secondary. The most controversial signing was defensive lineman Javon Kinlaw, who underperformed with the Jets in 2024 but signed a 3-year, $45 million deal with the Commanders. At first glance, that deal might seem risky, but Kinlaw is a better fit for the Commanders than he was for the Jets. His signing proves the front office understands that the defense needs more size and physicality to match up with the Eagles' bruising ground game. It's clear that Washington is doing its part to keep Barkley from running over them again. If these defensive upgrades can match the high-powered offense led by Daniels, defeating the Eagles remains a very real possibility. So, Commanders fan, do you think these changes are enough to get us to the Super Bowl? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more news, analysis, and updates about our team.